right. Hi, Sarah. How are you doing today?
I'm doing all right. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I know that this is one of our first couple of sessions, and we've been working on some of the voc rehabilitation and trying to find you a good fit for a good job placement. How's that going for you?
It's been a little rough. I've just been dealing with a lot of anxiety. The last two places that I worked at, I think I told you about one of them. I just haven't been lasting very long, more than like 2 weeks. I just feel like I hate to call it my disability, but like just I'm a little bit slower at learning things at times. So I just feel like people get really frustrated with me, and then I become frustrated and anxious. So the last 6 weeks, I've been at two different places. So, and I'm currently now trying to find a new one.
So I'm hearing that you're really anxious and you've tried a couple of things. Can you fill me in on which places you tried? I'm trying to get an idea of where you would like to end up, essentially.
So there's a place here called Noble that works with people who have either like mental or physical disabilities,
Mhm.
and they try to help find like appropriate placements for people. And I worked at one, it was a warehouse where I got to do picking and packing.
Mhm.
So it was kind of the same thing every day, but you have to keep up with like a quota, I think is what they were calling it, and I just wasn't fast enough.
Okay.
So the manager just didn't. I don't know if they just didn't understand that it takes me a little bit longer, but they became really frustrated with me, and then like ended up writing me up for it, and then that really like upset me because I'm trying, and then it just made me really discouraged, and I just become very anxious about even trying a new place.
Well, I mean, I'm hearing you, and I want to just say, like, you're doing such a good job. I know that you're really trying, and this seems to be important for you. And, I know that you're a hard worker, and like you said, you're trying a couple of different places, and you're trying to find that best fit. Um, so you mentioned the first option. Was there a second one that was it kind of on the same track where you were just feeling like things were a little too fast paced for you?
Yeah, the second one was actually in a restaurant kitchen, but
Okay.
it was like before that they opened for the day. So they would have me help like prepare sides of dressings, and sometimes I would get to help measure out like some of the meats that they use and like pre-package that. Um, and I really liked the people there, but again, my anxiety started taking over because I just felt like I still wasn't doing it fast enough.
Yeah.
By the time they opened, it got really, really busy
Mhm.
in the kitchen, and like I heard a couple people say I was in the way, and I just again like just kind of shut down, like I just become really like overwhelmed and anxious. So
Yeah.
that was the last one, and that lasted about 2 weeks.
Well, I see that you're trying these, and it sounds like you're getting different skill sets at both. So that's really important.
Yeah, yeah,
Even if it doesn't seem to be the best fit, that's, really important to develop that. So
yeah.
if you could find a job, where do you feel yourself, kind of setting in, really well?
I really like animals.
Animals? Okay.
So I think maybe working with animals would be a really cool opportunity.
Okay. And what I'm hearing is that, animals may be the best fit and maybe people not so much if there's large groups and seems like
Yeah.
okay. Okay, perfect. Well, I know that there's a bunch of different places in Indiana and in Kentucky that we might be able to find for you. Um,
Okay.
Definitely maybe with one of the humane societies, so we can see
Okay.
what could be some good options there for you. Um, with animals, what would you like to do? You know, kind of take them for walks, help with maybe the adoption process?
Yeah, I would be willing with whatever. I mean, I know that I can't like probably work at like a vet or anything because I don't have an education background for that. But yeah, I mean, I would definitely be okay with playing with the animals, walking them, giving the baths, I guess. I just feel like it, like you did say, maybe working with animals and not having to necessarily like be on a schedule with like a boss like that needs a specific amount of something done, and
Hmm.
I don't know.
Well, and you know, one of the things with jobs is that everybody does usually have a quota or something that they have to keep. So, one thing I wanted to make sure that we touch on is in one of our first sessions, we were kind of talking about why you want to work. You know, what's your motivation? And I
Yeah.
wanted to highlight that again just to make sure that we're kind of staying focused on that too, because even though things are going to be fast paced and you might have a lot of job responsibilities, it's important to keep that in mind. So, in
Okay.
terms of things, why do you want to work? Just, you know, kind of refresh my memory.
I want to work because I like to get out of the transitional housing that I'm living in right now. Because I'm an adult, I've transitioned out of the like on-campus facility that I was living at. And if I get a job, the more hours I work, the more money I can make, and then I can move into like my own little apartment.
Mm-hmm.
So I like being away. I mean, I like being with people, but I think the opportunity too, like working with animals would just be really cool because I enjoy that too.
Yeah.
So it's really to like start getting some money in my bank account,
Mhm.
because part of my other program is becoming more independent. So I want to just be more independent.
Yeah, definitely. That's understandable, and I love that idea, and I love that you have such a good motivation behind that. So one thing
Yeah.
I heard is that you would like to have more hours with more money. Do you feel like you're putting extra pressure on yourself maybe to, you know, and maybe that might be increasing your anxiety at all? Because it sounds like you've
That's
got
a,
lots that you're worried about with that.
yeah, that's a good thought. I didn't really think about it. I just guess I kept thinking about how much I wanted to get out on my own, in a sense. So I guess that definitely could be part of the issue. I didn't think about that.
Well, let's see if we can, you know, maybe first try and find a space close by, maybe come up with
Okay.
a list of a couple of things that you would really see yourself doing, you know, kind of long term. And,
Okay.
you know, we can contact a couple of places, maybe, you know, let's say for now, three, and starting off trying not to be, you know, overly anxious. How many hours do you think that you would like to work?
Well, at the last two places that I was at, I started out at just 10 hours a week.
Hmm.
And then the second week, they bumped me up to 15.
Okay.
Um, and I think that I can't go over more than like 25 hours a week right now, is
Yeah.
what my counselor at the transitional place wanted me to kind of keep it at that.
Yeah, and especially if you're on the fixed income with disability, Social Security.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
definitely want to keep you under that. Did you feel like the 15 was too much, or did you?
Well, no, I mean, I liked the restaurant better, but like I said, I had to be there really, really early because I had to be there before they opened and got really busy.
Hmm.
So, I was doing that like 5 days a week, like 3 hours or so. So I liked that, but I guess when I felt like I was in the way and I became anxious, that's what made me not want to be there anymore.
Well, maybe for this new place, we can come up with more of like a later schedule so you wouldn't have to get up so early. And maybe, you know, um, depending on how many hours you would like, you know, we could suggest maybe 10 to 12 to start off with and see how that's
Okay.
going. Um,
Okay.
and, you know, I'm thinking that if there's less people, around, you might feel more prepared and less anxious, especially if
Okay.
you're dealing with those furry little creatures.
I know. That's what I think I would like about it.
So let's come up with a couple of things for our next session. Let's
Okay.
come up with three places where we would like, to look into working. Um, Maybe a set schedule of times
Okay.
that you can see a potential shift, and make sure that, your other interests and hobbies don't get in the way of that. So you have
Okay.
work-life balance, and maybe that could help with some of the anxiety. And then we can just go from there. Does that sound okay?
That sounds like a good idea to me.
Okay. Is there anything else you want to add before we end the session today?
I don't think so. You'll be with me, right? Like looking into those.
Yes, definitely.
Okay.
We're gonna look together the entire way, make sure that
Okay.
everything fits what you want it to
Okay.
fit.
Yeah, I think that I like that plan. I don't feel anxious about it right now, so I like that plan.
Good. That's a good way to end.
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'm going to be contacting you in the next couple of days, and we'll start looking for you and plan something out for your next career.
All right. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks, Sarah.
You're welcome.